What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So we have some updated news on Paul George's injury status. New news in regards to that. And, Paul George definitely specifically, has been working hard to, come back from his elbow injury. And, he probably thought he was going to play maybe about a few weeks ago in regards to, his elbow injury with the UCL injury. He had a tear in his shoulder and it didn't work out. So after that, because he was reported to come back early March, I believe. And I think it was like March 3rd or 4th or something like that. And he didn't come back because they say he needed more time and more rest. And after that, he went basically for a second opinion to get it reevaluated again. And they wanted to check it again to see, the severity of it or how the arm or the elbow was progressing, because it basically would dictate the outcome of the season, whether they can, shut him down for the season or, have him back before the season ends, and in regards to that, I think it was a setback for him and and everybody else who wanted to see him make a return and everything early March, in which that was the prediction at first. But now he has the reevaluation, and now he has been upgraded to doing a lot of 4-on-4 scrimmages, which is really good. That's definitely big news because, if he's doing 4-on-4s, 5-on-5s, which there is a video out, I believe, on Twitter that you can see about him actually practicing things like that with the team, being a little physical, things like that those things really go a long way, because like I said, when you're playing the 4-on-4, 5-on-5s, now you're getting to a point where you're definitely a lot closer to your destination, which is making a return. And I definitely heard these things about Kawhi Leonard as well. So, we definitely can't leave the best player out, definitely got to include him as well. But yeah, definitely heard the same things about Kawhi Leonard too, playing 4-on-4, 5-on-5s. And then we saw Kawhi play like in front of the media for like a couple of hours, the other day, or I should say like last week, so definitely big, good news there as far as both players, and it was definitely noted that, Paul George would come back sooner probably with his injury because he's like closer, supposedly, than a little bit more closer than Kawhi Leonard. But the way things have been going for Kawhi too is, they might actually possibly make a return around the same time, possibly. So maybe Paul George might come a couple of games before, but if the Clippers can advance past the play-in tournament and get into the actual, playoffs, or, just get a certified spot there, then I think, if Paul George is on the floor, everything is going well, this and that, and if Kawhi can make a comeback, I think he would do it then if he doesn't come back before the season ends itself. But as far as Paul George, definitely he's getting a lot closer to where he needs to be. And like I said, when you start doing the scrimmages and playing 4-on-4 and 5-on-5s, now you're starting to get that rhythm again. You're starting to take some contact with that elbow. You're shooting constantly with it. You're shooting on the move. It's almost as if you're playing in a real game to a degree. Of course, it's not the same exactly, but I mean, it's the closest that you can do, off camera, basically, is playing 5-on-5, get that rhythm, get your movements going, and, get back in tone where you need to be, because the Clippers definitely going to need Paul George. Of course, they're going to need Kawhi Leonard to win the championship, but they're definitely going to need, Paul George to be healthy too, because we saw what happened to the Clippers in the bubble when Paul George wasn't playing right, when he wasn't healthy, as he said. He had he said he was dealing with his shoulders, and plus he was dealing with anxiety, all that stuff, so they definitely need Paul George to be at his best as well if they want to go all the way to the finals and win, along, of course, Kawhi Leonard being healthy too, but still they definitely need Paul George to be playing at his best and him to be in rhythm as well, because I feel like it takes Paul George a longer time to get into rhythm than it does Kawhi Leonard. That's just me, because I feel like Kawhi Leonard's just an efficient shooter. He takes shots that he he can make, and he takes more high percentage shots. So I feel like a player that takes more high rhythm or high percentage shots can get into rhythm quicker than somebody who doesn't. And a lot of times Paul George doesn't take, high percentage shot. He just goes with his, heart at the time. If he feel like he can take a shot over two guys and make it, he'll try it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it'll brick really bad, but at the same time, Paul George has that heart to go out there and do that. And he makes it work, but Kawhi definitely has the heart to do it as well, but he's just a little bit more efficient when he does it. So my thing is, if Paul George comes back a little bit earlier than Kawhi Leonard, that's probably a good thing to a degree, because he'll catch his rhythm. So when Kawhi comes back, he'll already be in rhythm a little bit. And then when Kawhi gets his, then it's all bets off for every other team. I mean, no other team has a chance of beating them, I don't believe. Not in a 7-game series, but if both of them are healthy. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see exactly how it, how it translates to, Paul George getting back on the court, because like I said, with him ramping it up now, doing 4-on-4, 5-on-5 drills and scrimmages, it's definitely only a matter of time. We hope that, Norman Powell, we get more updates on him as well, because, his return is going to be huge too, because they definitely going to need that guy, coming off the bench, or however they're going to use him. However they choose to use him, he's definitely effective any way you use him. So it doesn't really matter. Norman Powell is just a weapon to me. He just is. He's just a universal weapon that you can use in a lot of areas in a lot of different ways. And on top of that, he can score pretty well himself. So you don't want to sleep on his scoring ability. But yeah, definitely, we definitely hope that everybody comes back healthy. Definitely hope they come back healthy soon. Right now, the Clippers are on a little bit of a losing streak there. So they definitely can use all the help they can get in regards to their star players, because at some point, that's just what it comes down to. You got to have your star players. The role players can do a lot, but they can't do everything. And the star players are asked to pretty much do everything. So it's like, at some point, you need those players there in order to make a run, to, do the things you need to do to get over the hump. And this is the time of the season you're going to need it, because it's April and it's about to be, playoffs here soon. So, I mean, everybody needs to be playing their best basketball. Everybody needs to gear up. Everybody needs to be as healthy as possible. And everybody needs to make a run at it. And I definitely think the Clippers, are due for a title, because they've been a long-awaited team, that hasn't gotten one. And they've been good enough these last several years to get one. Even when they had Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, back then, they were good enough to get one. They had the team. They had, the pieces, the chemistry and the camaraderie, and the coaching might not have been there, but, they had the team. They had the roster, I should say. Just like now, they got the roster, they got the team. Now they got the coach, and now they got the right superstar player in Kawhi Leonard. Everybody just needs to be healthy, and everybody needs to gain that chemistry, and that's pretty much where it's all at. So I'm not sure how much chemistry they can build, with the superstars possibly coming on the back end of the season like this, with a lot of these young players to go into the playoffs. But I still think their chemistry is good enough and their talent is good enough to beat a lot of teams. I really do. So I definitely can't wait to see if that can happen. Hopefully, Kawhi comes back. Hopefully Paul George comes back from this elbow injury as well. And hopefully they get Norman Powell back soon. And hopefully they can make a run in this thing and possibly go for a championship. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Cali out.